On September 27th in 2008, an undefeated Georgia team ranked 3rd in the country featuring a Matthew Stafford who was in his prime, Knowshon Marino who was in his prime, and oh yeah, AJ Green who was also in his prime. It wasn't just Matthew Stafford, AJ Green, and Marino the running back who was looking great. The entire team as a unit was looking like a powerhouse. There were serious conversations going on that they were the best team in the country. Everything was looking great for these guys. They had a great head coach, a talented quarterback, a monster of a running back, and maybe an even better wide receiver. Everything you need to not only succeed at the college level, but the NFL level. But however, everything was looking good up until September 27th. I know. You're sitting there thinking, yo Matt, what in the heck does this have to do with Cincinnati? I'm getting there. On September 27th in 2008, Georgia, they was feeling a little too cocky and they said, you know what, we're going to wear our black uniforms against Alabama because it's going to be their funeral. If you don't keep up with college football, or maybe you do and you just don't understand the premises, I'm going to explain it real shortly. What Georgia did, and they rarely do this, they had their blackout game against Alabama, and this is where the players, the fans, everyone, they wear black jerseys, and the fans wear black t-shirts or whatever they can find. You can call it or label it as you want. Nobody really calls it the blackout game. It's more of, oh yeah, this team coming in, it's going to be their funeral, and that's how they look at it and approach it. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this game. Why is that? Because this game wasn't much of a game at all. Alabama blew out Georgia, and it was one of the most unreal things I've ever seen. In 2008, now that I think about it, you can make a case and an argument. This is when the dynasty really started to happen, and it started to build its way up. It was Nick Saban's second year there, and nobody in their right mind predicted Alabama not only to win this game, but to blow Georgia out the way they did on their home field. If you saw this game or heard about it, you know what I'm talking about. But I really want you to understand how unreal it was to happen at the time. We're not talking about a 2021 Alabama where we're used to seeing them do this. In 2008, they weren't all that good just yet. It was only Nick Saban's second year there, and he didn't even have all of his 4- and 5-star recruits in. He was still using players from the previous coaches. There's not another way to put it. Alabama flat out dominated a great Georgia team. At halftime, it was 31-0. I believe I have a screenshot of this I'm going to throw up on the screen, and you can look at the stats. It's so surreal to think about. Alabama had 92 rush yards. Georgia had 17. Alabama had 139 pass yards, which at the time was a lot for Alabama, and Georgia only had 69. The total yards, it wasn't even comparable, and the turnovers, Georgia had 2 costly ones, and the time of possession was in favor of Alabama by far. I'm going to say this again. Georgia had Matthew Stafford, AJ Green, and Knowshon Marino on one team. Another example of why Alabama is Georgia's big brother, and it's not even close. They've embarrassed them the past 10 to 15 years. Why did I bring that up? This is a Cincinnati football video, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to put them in the title. I brought it up for one simple reason, and I can't beat around the bush. There's only one reason I talked about all of that. That game in 2008 was the last time a team declared before the game started that we're wearing black uniforms against Alabama. Some of you may be sitting there thinking, yo Matt, it's not that big of a deal. They just said they're going to wear black uniforms. No. You don't understand. It's almost calling out and disrespecting the other team. To put it in a better perspective, like I said earlier in this video, it's almost like the other team saying, you're coming here to die, we're wearing black because it's your funeral. During that Georgia and Alabama game, one of the commentators said, quote unquote, this was supposed to be a blackout. It's a public mugging instead. If that doesn't tell you how the game went, I don't know what will. And well, what do you know? 13 years later, fast forward in time to 2021, a new team has called out and announced they're wearing black before the game. Who is it, you may ask? I think you know. Cincinnati. Earlier today, they tweeted out, Whether you're at the Cotton Bowl game or cheering on the Bearcats around the world, wear black because they're wearing black for the game. Cincinnati, you messed up, and you want to know why? It's not just the wearing black thing, it's more the premises you're giving Nick Saban and those players motivation that they didn't need. You're giving them bulletin board material, and you can't do that for a Nick Saban coach team. What does Nick Saban and his entire team do? They're so crazy, it almost reminds me of Michael Jordan, where if you've seen The Last Dance, Jordan created false narratives and false rumors of people disrespecting him just so it can motivate himself. That's how crazy he was, and Nick Saban does the same thing with his team. Alabama could be 400-0, and Nick Saban would find the smallest thing and turn it into motivation and use it as rat poison. And I'm talking about the good rat poison, the rat poison that motivates his team, not builds them and lifts them up. If you think for 1 second nobody in that Alabama locker room is going to talk about this and it's not going to motivate them, you're out of your mind. This is what they were looking for, and they got it. For example, you even got a Georgia fan saying, "Don't do this to yourselves against Bama." Signed, UGA fans. They remember 2008. Oh my gosh, somebody tweeted out, "It's bold strategy, Cotton. See how it pays off for him." And under that, somebody said, "Somebody want to warn them?" You see, if you watch football, you know what's about to happen. Any chance, and I'm talking about any chance that maybe I thought Cincinnati could somehow pull out this upset, it's gone. It's not going to happen after I see that. Oh my gosh, somebody said I was a Georgia fan. You see the meme. Georgia fans, they get it. On a serious note and talking about the game, here's going to be the big difference. 1, Cincinnati hasn't played anybody near the caliber of Alabama this entire season. Some of you may say, what about Notre Dame? And come on now, are you joking? Notre Dame's not even close to Bama. Number 2, the teams they've played this year also don't have the 4- and 5-star recruits that hit as hard, run as fast, and as are strong as Alabama players. And last but not least, number 3, I call it the Alabama effect. Can you mentally get in your head that you somehow are not an underdog? Because why does Georgia lose every single season? They're mentally messed up by Bama. It's hard to explain. Okay, it's actually not hard to explain. I'll go into detail. Georgia has it engraved in their head that they're supposed to lose, so that's why they always blow these leads, because it's almost normal to them. I call it the mental hump. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. Alabama beats 95 to 96% of the teams before they even step onto the field. People fear the name and they fear the brand. Will it always be that way? No, I don't think so. Once Nick Saban retires, a lot of teams and coaches are going to have a lot of confidence against Alabama, and you better believe that. But until he retires, they're not going to have that confidence. These Cincinnati players, coaches, they can say all day to the media they're not scared and they expect to win, but deep down inside they know they're not supposed to win, and they probably think they're going to lose if we're being honest. You guys know what I'm talking about if you played sports in high school, I'm sure. If you were going up a team you knew was better, you would tell your coach, "Yeah, I think we're going to win," but you're just saying that. Deep down you're like, we're probably going to lose this game unless something crazy happens. You can say and believe what you want, but everyone with any football IQ, they know that the Cincinnati players know they're not supposed to win, and more than likely they will lose this game, and that's why I'm predicting Alabama to win. They're going to win the game before they step onto the field. I don't think the Alabama players needed any more motivation after what happened this entire season. They've been disrespected and doubted. I thought they had enough motivation. And now you got the Cincinnati Bearcats doing something this stupid? Yeah, it's over. In other news, getting slightly off topic, we got to talk about Cincinnati's running back who had an interesting interview today. For those of you that don't know, Cincinnati's star running back, Jerome Ford, was a previous Alabama running back and also a transfer. The entire year when his name gets brought up, all everyone says is, "Oh yeah, that's the Alabama transfer." They don't really call him Jerome Ford. He had to say something about that, and he addressed it in today's interview. Let's take a listen, or I'll read it off. You listen. He said, "I'm thankful for everything Coach Saban did for me and the opportunity to play at Alabama, but I'm a Bearcat, and I would kind of appreciate it if people stopped calling me the Alabama transfer. I'm a Cincinnati Bearcat." Interesting words. He also added, "This is a business trip. We came here to play football. It won't be one of those things where it's like, oh, my buddies are over there. It'll be just like playing another team. we came to play a game and win a game. I respect that answer, and I see where he's coming from. He wants to be known as Jerome Ford, not the Alabama transfer, and so would any of us. Low-key, he might be one of the most underrated running backs in the country. He's really carried Cincinnati in the running game, and he's a great overall player. It's kind of funny how things played out because at Alabama, when he was there, he was either the 4th or 5th string running back, and I'm referring to Bama, have had so many injuries this year, he could have been starting or been the 2nd string if he would have stuck it out. It worked out great for him, so I guess you can't say he made the wrong decision. It'll be interesting to see how he plays against his former team. You know there's going to be that extra chip on his shoulder to prove the Alabama coaching staff that he should have been one of the top 2 running backs. On the contrary, the Alabama team and the defensive players, they're not going to go easy on him, and they're going to prove why he should have transferred because he's not good enough to play at Bama in their eyes. Going back to Cincinnati saying they're wearing black, it wouldn't have been a big deal if they would have wore black for the game. It's a big deal because they announced it before the game, and they're trying to do it as disrespect. It's a bold strategy, and I guess we shall see how it plays out. Let me know your thoughts down below. But with that being said, that's going to wrap it this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys liked it. Then, if you're new to the channel, what you doing? Join the family. Hit that subscribe button and leave a like for more. And as always, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace.